Hello there, Max again. Once more, talking more Marvel Crisis Protocol. There's so many things that have come through recently. There was a video that came up yesterday. It would have been for Enchantress and Angela. We've now got Bullseye coming through as well. So a lot of really awesome stuff coming from Atomic Games just constantly, all the time. So look, let's jump straight into it. Today, we're doing Bullseye. He is Daredevil's ferocious kind of counter duo in the game. One man's blind, the other man hits things with incredible accuracy. Let's dive into it. So they talk about it on the panel, which is really cool. They get to chat about this stuff. They get to kind of post all these pictures and images of what to expect from these characters, which is really cool. The assassin Benjamin Poindexter, backstory, he was an assassin, he worked for government, got trained and stuff like that, then realized he could make more money by himself, and eventually ended up with Kingpin in the Syndicate, making a bunch of money, doing some hits and things like that as well. So his big kind of catch is that he can turn anything into a weapon. He turns anything into kind of a throw-in weapon from a distance and hits with pinpoint accuracy, hits him in the bullseye, as it were. But this is the miniature, very arrogant, very cocky, very sure of himself. And we're going to figure out what really creates that feeling whilst playing him. So, look, Extraordinary Assassin geared definitely towards killing, so Nebula already comes to mind immediately. Damages opponents with a bunch of an impressive array of attacks, powers that end. Throwing Knife and I Never Miss is his signature power. So to me, very quickly, if we're following Nebula, I expect him to be a 2, maybe 3 threat character. Probably 2 would be really interesting, but another really vicious style of character, very brutal on their attacks, can potentially give a bunch of stats or token effects to negate your opponent, as well as weaseling through some damage pretty consistently. And we're going to see that in a couple different other areas. So we've got Pincushion is the special attack, grabs a handful of whatever, pocket debris, pocket sand, someone in the face, Strength 5 Barrage. So Strength 5, not crazy. Pretty solid considering again, if 2 or 3 threat character, not too bad. Ignores cover though, so that's pretty good. And give the bleed special condition. So like I said already, potentially giving out a bunch of tokens and stuff like that. After he makes the attack, you follow up with another pincushion attack though, thanks to the rapid fire special rule. Now that might be from Wilds, or it could just be a free attack. I expect with 4 power that you're probably just going to get a free attack. Maybe Rapid Fire is a passive ability that he has that allows him to get extra attacks, or maybe it's part of the pincushion attack. But for 4 power, 5 strength, I expect him to attack twice at least for free, not necessarily needing wilds or anything like that. Because again, 4 power for 5 dice is pretty garbage. Unless maybe 2 threat character, and that's kind of his big move. He spends 4 powers and attacks strength 5 into you twice. Pretty good. Always hitting what he aims at. He's got a really cute ability here, I Never Miss reactive power. If you fail to hit, you can spend a power and they take a damage instead. So that's really interesting, particularly if you've got 0 power attacks that you're trying to generate your power from and stuff like that. You can always just freely spend a power to guarantee a hit on anything. Really good at guaranteeing those last little bits of damage from things like Shuri, or if your opponent's got a bleed stack on them, you can just, get an automatic hit and then the bleed finish them off on their turn. So really interesting like that. Literally what it says, just before they come in dazed, or pairs with Bullseye, knife throw attack, which costs no power to use. So there you go. Isn't the only person they're able to perform range attacks. People can obviously shoot him. Now, a really interesting trick with Bullseye. We've seen this already from things like Zemo does it with counterattack. Black Widow does it as well, and Proxima does it as well, where you counterattack them. You roll some dice and potentially get some damage back. So this is Bullseye's own little cute way of going about that. 2 power, pretty stock standard. They immediately suffer 1 damage, and then makes a short advance away from the attacker. So really interesting. Not necessarily rolling dice or anything crazy like that. You can just turn around and say, for 2 power, you shot me. Here's 1 damage onto you. And I'm also going to run away. So a lot of really interesting tactics based on maybe moving onto or away from objectives, or away from buildings that they're potentially going to attack you, and things like that. Maybe they're trying to generate some power to attack you, to then throw a building at you, and you get just to move short away for spending 2 power. Now, 2 power is not nothing, particularly when you have a 4 power power attack, or kind of your big boy attack. So interesting. He doesn't seem like he's got much power to utilize otherwise, other than the 1 power on the I Never Miss. So really interesting. That's not always a power that you're going to spend. So maybe not a huge power spender, except for, these 2 abilities. But again, if he's a 3-threat character, you compare it against things like Baron Zemo, who's most likely going to get a damage through anyway, having to charge on Zemo with a long move. So that's kind of what you compare him at threat 3. At threat 2, however, I think he definitely has a lot of interest in design space, because it seems like he can hit pretty hard. We'll see a bunch of probably stats, and probably 3 physical, maybe 2 energy, 3 mystic, something along those lines. So, slightly tanky, maybe 5 health, maybe 6 health, if you really want to push him as a 2-threat character, to really just say, hey, I'm going to punch you a bunch, and I'm going to be pretty tough to beat. Very stock standard kind of jack of all trades in regards to that. Again, interesting whether they'll have medium or large movement. I probably expect medium movement. No reason to give characters like this large unless there's kind of a cool game plan behind it. And look, that's kind of it that they've got. So not a wowzer big world-changing character, but not all characters can be that. He's kind of just a background character. Maybe in the Syndicate, again, you jump in, you take an objective, someone attacks you, you throw them back, deal a damage, maneuver short back, and try and palm off the objective to one of your bigger guys like Kingpin or Venom, something along those lines. And I think that might be a really cool play. Again, 2-threat character, I think he has a lot of potential in teams as a good hitter. 3-threat character, the only reason I'd really see taking him is if you're trying to maybe fill in affiliation or something like that, and you're really struggling to get in your Syndicate affiliation. So, but look, really interesting character. We'll see what it's like when it does come out. Comment below. Tell me what you think is going to happen. Tell me what you think about the threat. Maybe his movement's going to be a small or a medium or large. Tell me again what you think. And I'm really keen to check back on that, and I respond to all the comments as well. So, look, my name is Max. Pretty short one. Really, really cool stuff. Keen to at least paint that. A fairly simple model to paint. I think that's going to be very, very rewarding, which is really cool. But I'm going to throw you on to Ali. She can tell you how to follow all our social medias and stuff like that. If you check out our website, generalgames.com.au, we have all of this stuff up for pre-order as well. We run about 20% below RRP when it does involve pre-ordering these products. So do check us out. But otherwise, you have yourself a wonderful day. My name is Max. Stay safe out there. I'll catch you next time. See ya.
Hey guys, it's Ellie. If you like that video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more interesting content. You can also follow us on Facebook for more information and events. Likewise, follow us on Instagram for those behind the scenes photos and videos. See ya!